I give you the biggest canceled person of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Oh, we gotta get to the chorus. No chance. No chance in hell. You've got no chance. Step down as CEO. You've got no chance. No chance in hell. No chance. Him and John Laurinaitis had an affair.
Oh,
alright.
God.
Mr. Vincent Kennedy McMahon has been canceled this week. Well, kind of. It's really hilarious how Vince McMahon's playing it off.
Yeah.
But,
Hey, we gotta remember this.
oh god.
People power. He was really using people power.
Yep. Well, I guess it's Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis together. You know, because they were tag teaming or whatever. But, yeah, so Vince fucking McMahon and John Laurinaitis, well, I'll let you explain this since it's your segment.
Oh, well, let me... Basically, there was a former WWE talent, whether it was a paralegal or a fucking goddamn like actual wrestler, who fucking knows. Some people are saying it's a paralegal, some people are saying it's just a former employee, but whatever. Vince McMahon paid off like was it like 300,000?
Dude, it was $3 million.
3 million. I'm stupid. 3 million, like a $3 million hush money, basically, to this former employee.
Mm-hmm.
And because they had an affair with Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis.
Yep.
Like, what the fuck?
I think it was some shit where, like, Vince, like, had her first, and then after Vince was done, he gave her to John Laurinaitis. That's what I saw. I don't know if that's true. But, man, fucking... So, that happened, and it was everywhere. This happened, like almost a week ago, pretty much exactly. And dude, it was everywhere, like NBC News, like all these like big like world news sites and shit were talking about it. Like it was all over the place. And there's like the WWE board is like doing a whole investigation on it.
Yeah.
Fucking Nick Khan and shit. And so because of all this, Vince McMahon has decided to, for the time being, everybody's acting like it's permanent, but the thing said, like, for right now, Vince McMahon is stepping down as CEO, and it's been replaced by Stephanie McMahon, who was on a fucking leave of absence, but I guess being forced to come back. So now Stephanie McMahon is the new CEO of WWE. Well, the interim CEO, because like I said, it's not a permanent thing. You think Vince McMahon is just gonna let that go? Hell, fucking no. Like, fuck no. Vince ain't gonna let that position go. So the day he dies, he's gonna be the CEO.
Yep. He probably,
but, like,
I'm gonna be completely honest, he probably still is right now. It's probably just like he's like over Stephanie's shoulder.
Yeah, probably just like fucking a PR cover up. Vince is just still fucking CEO
like,
anyway.
get Elias in a tag team match with Ezekiel right now. Just right to Stephanie. Like,
Well, I mean, he was at Raw and SmackDown, so that doesn't surprise me. Because, the funniest thing is, like, so after all this happened, they announced, they're like, oh, Vince McMahon is going to be publicly speaking on SmackDown. And everybody's like, is he going to fucking talk about it? And they're like, there's no fucking way. So on SmackDown, Vince comes out, and I shit you not, the entire crowd was singing Vince McMahon's theme. That is the most over I have heard Vince McMahon in a long time.
well, I mean,
The crowd was cheering him so loud.
to be completely fair, Vince McMahon, with how he looks, getting whoever he did to have an affair with him, not even gonna lie, that's commendable. Like, not commendable in like that, like in a fair way, but like, how the fuck did Vince McMahon get somebody?
I mean,
Like,
he's Vince McMahon. He's
well,
a billionaire.
I
So
money,
he can do what he
yeah,
wants.
but still, I guess, yeah, whatever.
But, like, so then that happened, and all Vince McMahon said on SmackDown was that he was going to be. I think he said, like, something about taking time away or something. I could be wrong, but then he was saying, like, that he loves the WWE Universe, and he said, like, WWE has always been these four words. He said, then, now, forever, and then he was like, and the most important one, together. And the crowd was like cheering him so loud. And then the only other thing he said, he was like, welcome to SmackDown. And then he left. And then people sung his theme song even louder. And then I go on Twitter and everyone's just like, dude, like, what the fuck is with this crowd? They're cheering Vince McMahon after this shit? And they're like, oh, this crowd makes all wrestling fans look bad. And they're like, dude, like, so you're telling me, like, it's okay to cheer someone that did this shit? And whatever. I'm just like, dude, like, I mean, when I look at it this way, you know, when you're, I mean, not everybody is gonna fucking know about it, but there's that, and also, I mean, you know, with how iconic Vince McMahon's theme song is, it'd kind of be hard not to fucking sing along with it when you hear it live. But I don't know, fucking. And then he was on Raw last night because he announced that next week will be the return of John Cena, and people were still cheering Vince. So, and the funniest thing is, like, people were saying, like, Vince is just acting like nothing even happened, and he's been acting like really happy, and he's been joking around with everyone. And people are just like, dude, like, Vince is the biggest I don't give a fuck person I've ever met. Like,
Yeah.
Vince does not give a fuck. Honestly, I think at this point, Vince is too old to give a fuck about anything.
I mean, probably.
Like, I don't think he just
I'm pretty sure.
even if they do the investigation and it comes back that the shit's true or whatever, I still don't think Vince is gonna give a shit.
I'm pretty sure when he heard about like the Twitch stuff and the Twitch stuff was going on, he's like, "What the fuck is a Twitch?" He's probably one of those fucking people.
That's probably why the shit went down the way it was. It's just because he was such like a boomer against it. I don't like saying that, but it was kind of like a boomer move for him to do that. But I guess now they kind of raised the restriction on that because WWE wrestlers do Twitch and stuff, and they're back to doing like Cameo and shit. So
Yeah.
not everybody, but some of them are. Or like I think like Asuka is back to doing her YouTube channel now and shit. Like, so some of them are back to doing like their own content, or whatever. So they must have at least like raised the restriction a little bit.
Yeah.
But like the whole situation has just been crazy, dude. Like, fucking Vince McMahon and people act like this is the first time Vince McMahon's done something like this. Man, when I tell you the other day, Austin told me this list of all the shit that Vince McMahon has done,
Oh
This pales
yeah,
in comparison to that.
we should talk
Honestly,
about that list. Give me a second. Let me go back to
you
it.
want to go ahead and read the list?
Let me
Because
go back
it's
to
a
it.
it's a pretty fucking wild read, I will say. It is insane how much Vince McMahon has done, and people act like I'm not trying to like make this situation seem like it's not important or whatever, but I'm just saying people are acting like this is the worst fucking thing Vince McMahon has ever done, and they're
Oh,
acting like it's the end of the world.
they've
Like,
added to
oh,
it.
there's more?
Oh, they've
Oh,
added a
jeez.
couple. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man.
Okay, Vince McMahon thread.
Oh,
All credit
Jesus.
to Forbidden Drain for this on Twitter. Um,
Hold up, I'm gonna grab a drink real quick. I'll be right back.
okay, I will wait for you to get back. Alright, so, like I said, credit to Forbidden Drain for this. So, Vince McMahon thread. Rita Marie Chatterton was the first female referee in WWE in the 80s. She got
Mm-hmm.
into Vince's limo to discuss her contract, but was forced to have oral sex to save her career. When she didn't agree, Vince allegedly raped her that night on July 16th, 1986. That's one. And
Didn't they say like Vince did like a lot of fucking drugs in the 80s?
oh yeah, a lot of cocaine.
You said
In
a
two,
lot of cocaine.
yep.
Oh, Jesus.
In 2006, Vince came up with the incest storyline with his daughter Stephanie. Vince's pitch was to have a "Who's Your Daddy" storyline with Stephanie McMahon's unborn baby. The end game was for either Vince or Shane to be revealed as the father. Luckily, Stephanie rejected it.
Man, you imagine how fucking A, how fucked up that would have been if it happened, but B, how fucking pissed Triple H probably would have been.
Yeah.
I wonder if Triple H knew about that.
Here's something that they added. In 1983, Jimmy Snuka was charged with murder of his girlfriend Nancy, and Vince was the one who did all the talking for his employee. Vince allegedly paid off investigators to save Snuka from legal troubles. To this day, WWE doesn't acknowledge those charges. Edge and Lita were both against the live sex celebration segment, but Vince didn't listen to anyone, including John Cena, who tried to cancel this idea. McMahon even threatened to fire Lita if she didn't do what the company had planned for her.
Like, to be fair to that one, I mean, it's fucked up that they didn't want to do it and he made them do it, but to be fair, that segment did turn out to be one of the most iconic Raw segments, like, ever. But, still fucked up
Yeah.
that they didn't want to do it. And he made them.
When Steve Austin's then wife, Deborah, filed a domestic violence charge on him, McMahon was the first one to cover up for him. He allegedly told Deborah to never discuss this publicly with anyone after Austin walked out of WWE in 2002. He was briefly arrested for beating his wife. Jim Ross once revealed that Vince wasn't going to sign Gail Kim in the company, but he changed his mind after Ross told him that men were into Asian porn. Jim even said that McMahon didn't believe such a thing existed in the first place. '90s steroids trial. McMahon was accused of giving steroids to his wrestlers like candy, and many wrestlers even testified against him.
Oh
He
yeah,
even
that steroid trial thing was so big back in the day.
he even transferred his WWE ownership to his wife Linda because there was no way he was getting out without a miracle.
I'm pretty sure they used that steroid trial thing as part of a storyline when they were doing the storyline between him and Hulk Hogan for WrestleMania 19. I'm pretty sure I remember during the promos, like, Hulk Hogan was talking about how, like, Vince tried to ruin him with the steroid trial or whatever. He showed, like, footage of them in court or whatever.
Yeah. In 1992, Terry Garvin and Mel Phillips were accused of sexually harassing a young ring attendant named Tom Cole. Garvin and Phillips were fired and were never brought back. McMahon knew about this, but still didn't do anything. Cole committed suicide some time ago. McMahon personally interviewed Melanie Pillman on Raw the day after Brian Pillman's death, used it as a ratings ploy, and Vince used Melanie to avoid any accusations of drug/steroid abuse within the company. An affidavit of the late Ashley Mazzaro details the experience she had during a WWE tour to the Middle East. She claimed to have been raped and sodomized by a member of the military while on the trip. Vince told her to keep quiet, so WWE's relationship with the military was not hurt.
Rest in peace, Ashley Mazzaro.
After China was aware that Triple H and Stephanie had been in a relationship behind her back, things between her and WWE deteriorated. China stated in an interview after meeting with Vince about the situation. She was sent home and received a fax telling her she was not needed anymore. According to one insider, Vince not only did tremendous amounts of cocaine, but bragged about it. Vince is quoted as saying, "I could snort as much of the stuff as anyone can put in front of me and never get hooked." In 2006, McMahon was accused by a tanning salon attendant in Boca Raton, Florida. According to the criminal complaint, McMahon showed the attendant nude photos of himself when she didn't bite, or even whatever he wasn't interested in. Vince was accused of forcing himself on her. McMahon repeatedly mocked Jim Ross and his Bell's palsy on WTV during the peak of the anti-bullying and Be a Star campaign. Here's a big one. Remember fucking Kerwin White, the Chavo Guerrero's white character?
Yeah.
Vince McMahon was originally going to have the end game of that before Eddie passed. The end game was to have... Of course, more has been added on to this before, since I've told you about it. Apparently, not only was he supposed to be a member of the Ku Klux Klan...
Oh, no.
But, he was supposed to have a rivalry with his family member in Eddie Guerrero.
Oh my god,
and it was supposed
man.
to end off in a match at WrestleMania the next year.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Oh, God.
Oh, God, dude. 3 weeks after Owen Hart's careless death on live pay-per-view, his wife Martha Hart launched a wrongful death lawsuit against the WWF. She included her children and Owen's parents in the lawsuit. WWE settled out of court approximately $18 million on November 2nd, 2000. Matt Hardy revealed that Vince McMahon in 2003 wanted him to team with Mark Henry and talk like a black person. Matt said he was supposed to talk about being suppressed and talk with a black slang. And finally, Tiger Ali Singh complained to Vince about making him wear a turban and traditional Indian garb, telling him it was offensive to his people and desecration. Vince replied, "You and D'Lo are going to put on those fucking turbans. I don't care about desecration."
Jesus Christ. Excuse me. My man said, "You're gonna wear those fucking turbans, goddammit." Jesus Christ.
So yeah. Why
So
shit?
Did these people just, like, not want to tell Vince, like, no, because they were afraid of getting fired?
I believe so.
God damn. But yeah, so Point being, this isn't this situation that's going on now. That's by and large not even close to the most fucked up thing Vince has done. So I'm not defending Vince McMahon, but man, like Vince McMahon has such a fucking wild ass fucking run as CEO.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to play out this cancel segment with a little song. This one is for Vince McMahon.
Is that Vince McMahon singing? Hello? Hello?
So my power just went out.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Let me stop the podcast real quick.
Yeah.
Alright, well, Devon's power went out, as you heard a bit ago.
Yeah. The joke was that I was playing "Stand Back" by Vince McMahon, which I'm gonna actually add that to our playlist. But
Oh, great.
yeah.